Thank you so much for the kind comment about my videos. I absolutely love hearing people say that my content has helped them in any way. I feel like it is really healing for me to kind of like own my voice and own my experiences here on TikTok, and so the fact that it feels like it's helping other people just makes it that much more powerful and is awesome. I don't find the idea of me being more like typically autistic rude, but I also don't know what that means. So if you want to like elaborate on what that means to you, I would love to hear that. I have no idea if what I'm about to say is related to this or not, but I just keep thinking about it today, so I kind of wanted to just put that out there anyway. I've been thinking about how nobody in my life has ever suggested autism to me in any way, shape, or form. At least not that I picked up on. But I have had people point it out on here, and I think part of that is I started openly questioning it on here, so that makes sense then that more people felt like, oh, I can like join in this once one person said it or whatever. But I also wonder if I maybe come across differently here than I do in real life. And I wonder if some of that is like special interest based, if that's like what people are picking up on, which I think would make sense because I kind of have realized I have this rule in my head, and I just realized this in the last few weeks, but that part of why I feel like I don't know how to like make friends and maintain conversations very well is because I tend to assume that my interests are off limits for like initiating conversation. So I try to initiate like really basic small talk, like, hey, how's it going? How have you been? That kind of a thing. And then if the other person like doesn't kind of like launch into like an actual topic from there and just kind of does the like, oh, not too bad, how are you? Then I also give like the bare bones answer to that and then have this moment of like, shit, now what? So kind of the way that I try to recover from that when I know I'm going to be around people, I sometimes try to like kind of have a list of topics, and this largely is based on things that I know are their interests. So I utilize like people's Facebooks for this. Like if I see my cousin and I remember that like a few days ago she posted about like that catfishing documentary, and I watched that too and thought it was interesting too, then I can initiate a conversation about that because I know that she has an interest in it because she posted about it. But if I didn't have like specific kind of evidence to think that somebody would be interested in that, I would never bring that up. I would then just try to stick with like really generic small talk, like if there's somebody in my area, like, did you know there's that like festival coming up, or like literally talk about the weather or whatever. And I don't really know like how or why I decided that my interests are kind of off limits for initiating conversation. I have to assume that I learned somewhere along the way that I annoy people. But anyway, so I think part of how I use this account, and I make content on other platforms as well, it's what I do for a living, is that it's a way to info dump without burdening any particular person. Like I can just make content talking about the things I'm excited about and that I'm learning about, and just kind of put them out there, and then people can find them who are naturally interested in them, and I'm not having to push something on anybody who's not interested in it. But because that's what this account is, maybe that kind of makes my special interest side way more visible than it would be in real life usually. But yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts. I'm also like very open to the possibility that I might not have a good understanding of how I'm perceived. So I'm open to people's perceptions and feedback and stuff because I find it very interesting, and I don't think any of it's like likely to offend me unless people are like intentionally being jerks or something. But also I think part of what's weird and tough about this is like today in going through the diagnostic criteria, like some of the questions were like, have people told you that you XYZ? Like I feel like my experience is people don't just like give me feedback on myself. Like that's just not a thing that my family does. Like I'm pretty sure one of the questions was like if anybody's ever told me that like my body language or like emotional expressions don't like seem cohesive or something like that. Like nobody has ever told me anything about my body language ever or my emotional expression ever that I can recall. So maybe coming from a family that doesn't really give feedback like that might make it extra hard to gain an accurate view of yourself.